talking with a whole lot of truth. Remedy Revolution is here for you. Ooh. And now here's your host, Erin Page.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Remedy Revolution podcast. My name is Erin, and today's guest I am really fangirling over, honestly, because I've been following them for a while. They are the owners of an amazing place called Milk and Honey Ranch here in Texas. It's pretty close to where I'm at. I've never visited, but I have been wanting to go for a very long time. So hopefully now that we are connecting, I will take the initiative and make sure I get out there because they have the most amazing little Highland cows. And for those of you who love, little fluffy things like I do, I'm sure you would love to see some of these amazing creatures. And I'm excited to have them here today. Thank you so much for joining us, Brent and Daniela Phillips.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's a huge honor that you would want to talk to us. Thank you.
So, first of all, I hear in your voice that you don't sound like you are native Texans. So I would like to hear a little bit about how this big story of, starting this amazing place that has, animals and a pond and a pool and, glamorous accommodations and all of these things put together. Where did that vision come from?
So, how we got to the US in South Africa, the US is always like, well loved by people in South Africa. And my mom had been bringing us to America when I was a child. So we loved the US always. And my brother got recruited to play rugby. And we were actually dating, and I went to the US to just, be there, and some doors opened up and I was able to stay. So we got to long distance date before any of the technologies and that there are today.
Yeah.
Like we were emailing.
FaceTime.
Yeah. And then you got the time change and all that. But we lived in Colorado for 9 years. And then my niece had a stroke when she was a few days old. And that's what brought us to Texas. And so my brother and I ended up building a tech med company that's, hugely part of the Milk and Honey Ranch story. And eventually that got bought by a public company. And so a few things had happened. COVID had happened, which, shook up everybody's lives. For me, I was always at the office for, crazy amounts of time. And it brought me home to be with my family. And I was like, what am I doing? I'm spending all my time at the office. Like, I married my wife on purpose because I really like being around her and my kids. And so I was like, I have to do something different now with my life that involves us being together. Then we had that big freeze in Texas.
Yeah. And
that was really where my heart was changed from just being technology focused always, because I felt providing for my family is a huge part of my identity. And I felt so useless because there we sat with no food, no water, no heat, and there was nothing I could do. I didn't know how to fix a water pipe. I just felt like I can't provide for my family. It was a terrible, terrible feeling. And that was really where we started to think about, we need to get a ranch. It was just going to be a weekend thing. And we're going to learn how to farm and, all of these things that we can start providing ourselves and not be so dependent and just a consumer of society, but actually be able to provide something. And so my wife was all on board for that. She's very supportive. And then she became very unsupportive when I said we should move there to the ranch. Right? Do you remember that?
Yes. That was a big change that I was not expecting.
Yeah.
And I tried all sorts of things to be a loving and kind husband. I told her when she was sleeping at night, I was like, you want to move to the ranch. You want to move to the ranch. And I tried Inception. I tried all sorts of stuff, but I couldn't get her on board. And then one day I came home and I said, look, the kids and I are leaving. We're moving to the ranch. I would really like you to come with us. but if you don't, we'll find someone else. And she came.
Ah. Well, Daniela, are you happy with your decision?
Yes, for sure. He's always taking good care of me and is not disappointed for me, not even in this situation. So
Okay, so what was your first adventure in ranching, farming, homesteading, all of these kinds of new ventures for you?
So we obviously knew nothing. I mean, I didn't even camp. I'm not outdoorsy at all. I was very happy behind a computer. And so when I bought this property, it did have a house initially, but the freeze destroyed the house. So
Mm.
all that there was a barn that didn't even have a working well, no air conditioning, no toilet, nothing. And so our first adventure together was camping in this barn instead of our beautiful house that we had in Houston, camping in this barn and sweating and cooking on a little Bucky's grill, for dinner. And to really spoil the kids, I played a movie on the barn wall for them. But I wanted to get animals very quickly. And I was in a big rush to do this just because I've learned time, you just don't know what's coming around the corner. And if you don't embrace today with what you can do today, putting things off, that's how things never get done. Is thinking, oh, I'm going to do this then and then. No, do what you can do now. So not knowing where to get animals, I got cows from Facebook Marketplace, which is hilarious because if you've ever seen a cow on Facebook Marketplace, you're like, who the heck is buying a cow? This guy. And people started to hear that we were wanting animals, and so somebody gave us 8 pigs, and they like told us in the afternoon, we're bringing 8 pigs for you tomorrow. And so that night, as a family, we built a whole pig enclosure, and I tell you what, it was worth the price of a trip to Disney, if I'm honest, because there's my wife like sawing wood and my kids are using the nail gun. We've never done anything like that. And here we're building this pig enclosure. We're in a rush. It's late at night. We've got like flashlights and a generator. And we will never forget those memories. And those 8 pigs arrived. And then the next day there were 14 pigs.
one was pregnant.
The one was pregnant. We didn't know. Now we had these little baby pigs. And if there's the stuff you can plan for when doing stuff like this, and those are special moments. It's the unplanned things that completely transform our lives. We had some goats, and the goat was giving birth, and only one leg was sticking out. And I mean, I know enough to know that that's not good,
Right.
for any animal. And I'm watching a YouTube video about what to do if a goat is stuck in the mom. I mean, that's literally what I searched: goat stuck in mom, what to do. And it's like, you got to put your hand in there and you've got to find the other hoof and pull it out. And I was like, well, my hand's not going to fit in this little goat. So I ran to the house, and I got my daughter, who's a teenager, and I said, look, don't give me any attitude. Don't give me some excuse and some story. I just need you to come with me. You need to save this goat's life. And she came. And my little daughter, who hadn't done anything like this ever, stuck her hand in there
And helped deliver the goats.
Yeah.
Mm.
Pulled the baby out, saved the mom and the baby. And it was those things that has transformed our hearts forever, that we could never have done had we not opened ourselves to this opportunity.
So now tell us a little bit about what kinds of things you have at the ranch, because I know it's been growing like crazy over the last, I don't know, I think I've been following you maybe a year or two. In that time, I think, I've seen lots of new things pop up, and I can't believe, to be honest, how quickly that you guys have built this amazing place. So tell us a little bit about how that evolved to be what it is today. So starting from that, living in that or camping in your barn and having those animals, how did you then create this vision of, essentially a, a destination for people to go, but also a place to sustain you and your family?
Yeah, it's I just want to say to everybody listening and to you, thank you. I can't believe it worked. Like, like we're not sitting
Well,
here going like, look at what we've done. We're like,
no.
we can't believe people come here, you
And
know?
also preface it with, it was never our plan. It was never our plan to have what it is today. Like, it was just supposed to be a farm, a property for our family, and that was it, and experience the animals and the farming and all that for our family. That was the plan. And then it obviously took a detour, and
Yeah.
now is, over time, it is what it is. But we never had the vision or anything like that to be like, let's build a resort stay.
Yeah. If anything, it was the opposite. I was ready to move somewhere with my family, close the front gate, and just, create a place of peace. But God had other plans. So when I bought the ranch, I was a multimillionaire, and so I never had to work again. And so all of the stuff that we were doing, I could just enjoy, and I just, I was playing, but with obviously the purpose of wanting to raise my kids right. I will tell you this funny story, and the kids hate me sharing this, but we were at Easter at the Ritz-Carlton in California, Dana Point, which, as a South African, I pinch myself. I can't believe we're here, and the kids are fighting and they're squabbling and they're like, this place sucks and all of that. And that was like the final straw for me to say, like, now we're moving into the barn. And why that's important, because later in the story, the transformation is so incredible from that moment of like, I'm raising brats. But when the war broke out in the Ukraine, I've got a lot of relationships in the Ukraine as a software engineer. It's a great resource, a lot of people I really care about. We converted I really felt like I need to convert my garage into a hotel so that people who have lost their homes and stuff like that, their friends, their families, whatever, if they can get to the US, I said, I'll take care of you. Like, I'll let you rebuild your life and everything like that. And so we did. We converted our garage. I did it in quickly, like a month and a half. I built this 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom place upstairs, separated out so people could stay there. And then not long after that, the public company that had bought us, that had made me a multimillionaire, but it was all in stocks in their public company. So everything I was doing, it was like having money in your bank. You make decisions based on the numbers that you see.
Sure.
And I went to sleep one night, never having to work again, and I woke up the next day with nothing. Gone. My savings, gone. And it was that I mean, of course, there's the initial shock and everything like that, but then, like I said, for me, like I would swim through a sea with sharks in if it meant helping my family. And so that's a huge motivator for me. And so, I mean, I was down on the ground at 3 o'clock in the morning, like trying to figure out what on earth just happened to my life. Everything I've ever worked for, I mean, it was gone in an instant. I didn't even have enough money to pay the electric bill at the end of the month. And that is the moment when you ask, where did Milk and Honey Ranch begin? It was at the bottom of the deepest pit. And I got up and I started working as many jobs as I could online, back to software engineering, everything like that, while still having to take care of the ranch and the animals and all this. So now my plate is so full, and I'm working different time zones and everything, and I still can't get enough money to take care of everything. And now, we'd never get our money back, for the what we had paid and for the land. And so all I could do was push forward. And September of 22, I put the place that I had built for those in the Ukraine, I ended up putting it on Airbnb out of desperation, just to bring a little money in, going like, I don't think anybody's going to book here. We're in the middle of nowhere, and all we have to offer is a swimming pool and some pigs and goats, like, and a cow. So anyway, it books almost immediately by some ladies on Airbnb, and I'm like, I can't believe this. This is incredible. And then another booking, but it's only a woman booking this place. And eventually, like, they arrive, and I said, like, don't take this the wrong way. I am so grateful you are here, but like, why are you here? And they're like, oh, Round Top. And I'm like, what's a Round Top? And they're like, oh, it's this place 15 minutes down the road. Like, we couldn't find anywhere to stay. So, and then your place popped up. So we were just getting people who had nowhere to stay for this big festival that was going on that we had never even heard of. And that is how Milk and Honey Ranch got started. And I had bought a mobile home for my housekeeper. Obviously, when we lost everything, poor people don't have housekeepers.
Right.
So she didn't come.
I know this.
So she didn't come, and so I put this mobile home for her. I put this on Airbnb, going like, I don't know if people are going to stay in a mobile home, and people booked that mobile home. And it was just, it wasn't, it was an act of desperation, but it was like, this is all I have to offer. And God was so gracious in taking the scraps that we had, but it was like our gold, and offering it to people. But the thing that we could offer, even though they could go to much nicer places, like, we loved every guest that came. We were like, can we make you breakfast? Can we make you dinner? Yes, cupcakes. Yes, like, just because they were literally keeping the lights on for this ranch. And that is the beginning origin story of how we went from a small family farm to what it has become today.
Okay, so now you have not only hundreds, I think, hundreds of animals now on the ranch.
Yeah.
And you have you provide meals for people who are there. You have a gorgeous pond, a gorgeous swimming pool. I know you do lots of even day trips for people like myself who really are obsessed with your little cows. So tell us a little bit about what Milk and Honey has become.
You tell us, my wife.
Well, I don't know all the details. We have a lot more stays than just 2 stays.
Mm.
How many do we have now?
We got 20 at the
20
currently.
stays.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we can house, I think it's 180 people simultaneously if we need to.
89.
89.
She doesn't work in the business, as you can clearly tell.
She is the business. Come
She is
on.
We even added like the cafe, and where there is some food availability, coffee availability. We added the spa, those kinds of things. That was all added about a year ago.
Mhm.
So there's all of those things as well, and then like the activities, that whether it's cuddling a cow or whether it's the e-bikes. We have a trail now, kind of in the forest. We even have the ability to host weddings. So we've built kind of like a chapel, for lack of a better word. What else?
Yeah, good stuff, man.
Kayaking. I mean, so
Skeet shooting. Yeah.
So there's lots and lots of activities that people can partake in besides just sitting at the swimming pool.
Yeah.
So all of these things seem to have just really popped up or grown organically. Would that be accurate?
Yes, we were growing with that thing, but I must say, my wife's accident changed everything. We were just a small little mom and pop operation, hardly known. But when my wife crashed, I stopped all marketing. It was over. The ranch was over. We had $5,000 in the bank when she crashed, and it was okay. I was okay at this stage my kids had changed. They had just told me, my wife and my kids had just told me that they were so grateful that we lived on the ranch. You know, we moved into a mobile home and my kids were like, oh, Dad, this is so beautiful. The same kids who were saying that the Ritz-Carlton sucked were now transformed, you know? And I forgot where I was going
So
with that.
maybe say why, because the change was my accent, not only.
Raising my hand for the producer.
So Daniela, tell us a little bit about what happened, and what the outcome has been of all of this.
So with I had a year and a half ago, I had a car accident. I hydroplaned and hit the concrete median. I don't remember any of it, thank the Lord. But I hit the median, the concrete median, and so it had such a big impact that I guess the side of the car hit the side of my face. And then I had a brain injury, and it was so serious that they had to lifelike me to the hospital. And I was told all of this. He is probably a better relayer of the story because I don't remember any of it.
Sure.
But I almost lost my life. And they weren't sure that they may have to cut open my skull just to relieve the pressure that was in my brain and things like that. Fortunately, I did not have to do that, and I did make it. I did not lose my life that first day, but the hospital bills were exorbitant. And you know, besides, I guess the whole rehab and healing and progression of all of that has been significant. But what Brent was alluding to is that he really just stopped all marketing and just had people pray for me, because at that time it was really bad, and the Lord did a miracle and he kept me alive. But besides that, there was more miracles, and that I was only in hospital for 9 days, which is unheard of given the situation I was in,
Sure.
and given just a brain injury. Most people with my brain injury are in ICU for 2 months, and I was in hospital for 8 days, but still 8 days racks up a huge amount of hospital bills that Brent kind of had to deal with as the aftermath. So he had to, and so I guess having cut that out, part of it was not only just changing the marketing of the business in order to have people pray for me. It not only had people pray for me, which still blows my mind today, that there are so many countless people that had never met me and that earnestly prayed, was amazing. But we had a huge amount of people just book the ranch, send money, those kinds of things. So it catapulted the business from being a mom and pop business to being a whole lot more than that.
We grew 1,300% in bookings while we were in the hospital
Wow.
with no marketing. And I remember a very prominent social media influencer, when I started posting, asking people to pray and stopped everything about the ranch and stuff, said, like, you're committing social media suicide by what you're doing. And I wrote back, I said, you think I care about the ranch? Like, if my wife doesn't make it, like, there's nothing else, I could care less about anything else. And so everything became focused on her. And I had never in my whole life, I've met loving people, but I have not met this side of the world, strangers. Like, it's hard for me to talk about without tearing up the amount of people that were kind. I'm talking about all colors, all countries, all belief systems. I mean, it was just, I'd never experienced anything like that. There were 7 million people following at one stage. And just genuinely wanting to care for my wife. We had Airbnb guests that hadn't even stayed here yet, donating money without asking. We had one guest that had come once send us like $20,000 worth of artwork to sell, towards the hospital bill. So we ended up being able to pay, over $500,000 in hospital bills. through everything, and still keep the ranch, which wasn't even a priority for me at that stage. So it's it's a crazy story. Then we got hit by a tornado, and then I mean, it just like it just doesn't stop, But it's become a place that I am so proud of, because it's not just me accomplishing something. Like it only exists because of the grace of God and the kindness of people. This is now a community place that I get to thank people and hopefully return the love that they have given us.
I think that shows, though I've not visited yet, but the photographs are just beautiful and welcoming, and there's a sense of it feels like a loving embrace is the best way I could describe it. It just feels so comfortable that it draws people in. It makes them want to uh, see it for themselves in real life, right?
Thank you. That is the highest compliment, that's what you get from it, from the pictures, Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, I promise you, I'm going to come out and visit for sure.
We would love that.
Okay, so I really would love to hear. I hear that you're growing again, that there's another piece of the Milk and Honey Ranch that's going to be coming fairly soon. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. I always joke, my wife is my greatest inspiration, but she's like the hardest HOA you've ever met. Like all my ideas, she's like, no, I don't like that. But without her, I wouldn't have built anything,
He's clearly the visionary. I'm typically the anchor.
Yeah, she's the egg. But we are building. We are full every weekend, and so we've got people contacting us all the time wanting to come, and I hate turning people away. And like I've even put people in our guest room. I've rented out my mom's house because she was out of town. Like I try to fit people wherever we can, But we are building a little western town. Beautiful, beautiful. I think it'll be the most beautiful thing we've built. I hired an artist to draw it up and all of that. And so it'll be 10 hotel rooms, 2 queen beds, but themed stunning, like this whole own little village. A new swimming pool, fire pits, all of that. And then we're getting a ton of families, which is my favorite. Because from the little kids all the way to the grandparents, like everybody can enjoy this place. And so if I had to pick one group of people to come, it's families. And so we're building this water park that floats on our pond, which my wife is not excited about, but she will be when it's there. And so that's what's coming. I swam for the first time in our pool on Sunday in a year, because guests and stuff are always in the pool. But I don't say that in a negative way, because if you had told me the amount of joy and how it fills my heart having people on the land, I couldn't have imagined how much it fills my tank getting to serve the people that come, because I'm so grateful for them. That seeing them smile, it's like I'm experiencing it. So every time we get a new guest come, I get to relive, like you say about the mini cows, the excitement about the mini cows or the little pigs, or so all the time it renews my joy being here on the ranch. Right? It's not like that for my wife. It's different.
Okay, so Daniela, then what is your favorite part about Milk and Honey Ranch?
Gosh, I think for me the favorite part is actually just kind of getting to witness, knowing what it was in the beginning, getting to witness what it's become and his handiwork, really. Because as we were just joking, like I can't really take any credit for what it has evolved into, and it's really just been not only like his vision, but even just his abilities and his talents and his learning things that he's never known before, and yet he finds a way. So I think my favorite part is actually just getting to kind of witness what he has built
Mm,
is probably the biggest thing for me.
yeah. And as your children have grown, what is their opinion of Milk and Honey Ranch?
What would you say?
That's a good question. I don't know what their current opinion is on it. I do think, like what we were saying earlier, they have grown a huge amount. Just not only in getting to witness it, but also just getting, being the importance of being on land and being with animals and those kinds of things. I think it has added a dynamic to their lives, to our lives as a family, that it's hard to even explain what that does.
All the sick animals come into our house, if they need care or something like that. And we've had goats sleeping in their beds and, little pigs, and it's just whatever. And I think, you're not worth anything as a human if you don't have compassion. And having to care for these animals has definitely brought compassion out in their hearts. And that for me is far more important than, him being the top football star
Yeah.
or anything like that. I'd much rather
Yeah.
them be kind and compassionate as people.
So now that you've kind of grown into more of this farm stay, I'm not sure what you call it, but if you will, or a resort, a glamping kind of creation. What kinds of things are you still harvesting from the animals and from the land?
Yes, that's a great question. Um, we grow more now than what we've ever grown. We've been able
Mhm.
to hire some staff, which has, really expanded what we're able to achieve. We still get milk. We don't sell the milk, but we enjoy the milk. We obviously get a ton of chickens. A lot of the animals now are just living out their best life,
Yeah.
because their purpose has changed. Now they just get to be lawn art. Uh, uh, but
For some of them.
yeah, we still raise some pork. We don't raise any beef on the land. Our cows, they
They're living their best
they are
life.
living their
Yeah.
best life, and our longhorns and all of that. So we do grow a lot that we serve in our cafe. It's the same as what we eat at home. We're very seasonal now with what we're growing. Aquaponics was a huge thing. Anybody getting into this, I highly recommend aquaponics. That was a lot of YouTube videos, search, but it's fantastic. Um, we
Where do you house the fish in your pond, or where do you house the fish for the
so we have
aquaponics
a
system?
big tank.
Hmm.
We have a big tank inside of a greenhouse. I mean, we even grow bananas, which I didn't know, but that's like really special in Texas that we
Yeah.
have pulled off growing bananas, and we use those in our smoothies and for the guests. So people are always taken back about how fresh the stuff is, and I think that's not even credit to us. That's just what growing fresh produce without chemicals and everything organic. That it just tastes amazing. But you'll laugh because like our bananas are like this big, versus the ones like this. So things are definitely smaller when they're organic.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. How important was that to you when you first started to grow things organically?
It was.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, it was hugely important because right about that time that all this stuff was coming out, obviously we were during COVID, our eyes were open to a lot of things about the information we get from the government and things like that. Like you've got to reevaluate everything that you're hearing and seeing. And just because something has an organic stamp doesn't mean it's organic. And so it became a big, big deal. Then my wife, she got onto a health kick, and really took it further. Now she's trying to change my toothpaste and my deodorant. I'm like, just leave my deodorant. Like,
A
so
woman after my own heart. That's
I just anyway. So that's but what we put in our bodies, the stuff we're drinking, uh, it makes the world of difference. and to truly know the source and the appreciation when you grew this thing. It's not just the taste of it, it's this whole emotional connection that comes from having put the time in to raise it, cooking it yourself, sitting at the table to have it. It's a blessing, that whole cycle.
I think it creates really different humans, if if I can say that. I think a connection to our food, a connection to the land, these kinds of things, I think, um, we've really become so disconnected from all of those things, and then disconnected from each other, I think, as a result of that. So reconnecting with the land and animals and all of these amazing gifts that are right in front of us, that a lot of times we overlook or underappreciate, really come into focus when you are growing the food that you eat. And additionally, when you lose all of your financial means, for example, in a modern day society where, that's really how we function, and are forced to really think about, every single detail. Well, how am I going to feed my family? Um, those kinds of things, I think, are they just create a new sense of appreciation for all of the things around us in a much, much deeper sense. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
One day I was driving home and there was a boy selling watermelons on the side of the road. And I realized that was my boy selling our watermelons. And if you had told me, like, before this plan entered my heart to do, that one day my son would be selling watermelons on the side of the road, I'd be like, nah, I've got much bigger plans for my son, like, and when you value those things, it changes what success looks like.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing. There's so much to celebrate. Like when you get your eyes off and I don't mean this in a insulting way, the American dream, of just climbing this, and success looks like us coming together and bringing out the best in one another and the best that's been provided for us. Starting at the most basic thing, which is a seed. I fully agree with you. It makes us better humans. And when we can change that pursuit, I got a new car every 2-3 years. That was always a thing. I haven't had a new car in 7 years, but the joy that I'd get from that new car, like I get with a tomato, like look at this thing, like we grew this, so there's been a huge shift in my heart. How about you?
Yeah, and I mean, as a side note, I remember when after I had my accident, I had to go to rehab for what they had predicted I would need 6 months of rehab. I was there for 2 weeks, and I came home, and I honestly believe that me living on land with animals, and of course with love in our home, like having a husband and family who loved on me through all of that, was more healing than I think rehab could have ever been.
Yeah. Honestly, the change from her in hospital to when we got her back, I mean, in hospital, she didn't even know who I was. Like, she had lost memory. We lived on a farm, anything like this. And when she got home, one of our cows, or two of our cows, had given birth, and we had named the babies Danny and Ella for my wife, Daniela. And they gave birth the night she went from critical to stable. Which is a whole other beautiful story. But she just climbed over the fence. We've got a video of her climbing over the fence and just walking straight up to the baby and like patting the baby. And the healing, the life-giving nature of being around this is, I'm having a bad day and I walk past my Longhorn Clyde and he walks up to the fence to have his head scratched, and it changes things.
Yeah.
Hey.
I love that. I think that's so beautiful. And I'd love to hear any funny stories or anecdotes that you'd like to share. Anything come to mind?
I don't have the short-term memory like he does.
We yeah, there have been so many things. I wish we would have. I mean, we've documented
Journals,
it,
yeah.
but if we had had a TV crew, like it would have been a hit for sure. The real life stuff that goes on, but I've been, coming from the city, I was scared of every bug, like a lot of people coming from the city, and you just exposed to everything all the time, and mud. And in the beginning, everything was mud. We had no roads, we had nothing, and I mean, we just got used to sleeping with sand and and like mud stains on our bed and stuff like all the time. We just could not keep up with it, and we just had to accept it. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of some other funny things that have. Oh man, I'll think and
Well, I did see a video of you feeding both a cow and a goat at your dinner table, what looked like your dinner table.
yeah,
So-
those are real and those are fun. And people comment because my wife just carries on living her life in the background. She's not part of the video. She's legitimately just living her life in the background, like doing whatever she's doing. And that is the truth. She is so calm. The stuff that I've brought in our house, she's just like, she just carries on with her life. But one video we were filming was with the new little Highland cow. We wanted to put it in the living room
Mm.
to watch TV with us. And that little cow pooped on everything.
He was still on a bottle, and so
Oh.
when an animal is on a bottle, their poop is a lot more runny.
Yeah.
When he pooped on our couch, it
And
went a lot of places.
And my wife had said, "Don't do it. Let's not do it." And I'm like, "It'll be okay." And she's like, "I don't think we should do it." I'm like, "Don't worry about that. Don't be negative." And then when it happened, I was just like, "That ups, I know."
She let you sleep with the cow that night, I think.
Yeah. And we had the kangaroo. And when we got the little wallaby, I put a diaper on it, and I wanted it to sleep in our bedroom. And my wife's like, "No, I don't want it sleeping in the bedroom. It's going to poop everywhere." I was like, "No, it's got a diaper and everything like that." So this is how it goes. And then I woke up the next morning, and its diaper had come off. And there's no animal on earth that poops as much as a wallaby. And I mean, there is poop everywhere.
Everywhere, all over our bedroom.
And my wife didn't say anything. She took my son to school or whatever, and I was just like, there I was cleaning up all the people.
He
Like, oh,
cleaned it up before I even got home.
she was right again.
Well, it sounds like you two have a lot of fun. For those of you listening, I would love for you to take a look at Milk and Honey Ranch. You can go to milkandhoneyranch.com. They are all over social media, especially on Instagram, which I love to watch their little reels because it just brightens up my day seeing these amazing animals and their interaction, especially with you, Brent, and that it just cracks me up, them eating off your dining room table. And you're right, I did notice Daniela walking around in the background. So we have reached the end of our podcast. I ask every single one of our guests 8 rapid fire questions. You guys can choose who wants to answer what, or if you both want to answer, that's totally fine. These are rapid fire questions just designed to give our listeners a little bit of insight into who you are and what makes you tick. All right. So, number one, if you could choose only one remedy for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Honey.
I say Congoplex.
She loves Congoplex. She'd
Awesome.
sprinkle it on her food if she could.
All right. Number two, tell us something most people don't know about you.
Rapid fire.
You answer.
I used to be a model when I was young.
Like 8 years old.
Awesome. All right. If I were to compile a playlist of happy music, what song would you suggest be added?
It's a Beautiful Day by U2.
Nice. Daniela, do you have one?
I mean, nothing particular. Probably just some worship music.
Maybe that song by Linkin Park, Shut Up When I'm Talking to You.
Number four, what is your favorite guilty pleasure?
Sourdough bread.
Chocolate. German
Mm.
chocolate, to be specific.
Both equally delicious. All right. What is the most influential book you've ever read?
The
The
Bible.
Bible, for sure.
What does the word revolution mean to you?
It's a new way of thinking how to do something and not accepting how things currently are, but looking to say, how do we do this way better than what's currently in front of us?
And what does the word remedy mean to you?
Solution.
Yeah. Not just a solution, but something that solves the problem.
And lastly, if you could impart one piece of wisdom onto our listeners, what would that be?
You?
You go first.
Okay. Don't be a victim. Things are going to go wrong in life. Yes, other people can cause a lot of pain and things can happen, but don't accept being a victim, because then you don't look for a way out. You just accept where you are. So whatever you can, fight not to be a victim.
And I would just say, trust the Lord with the unknown, with the big and the small.
So amazing to interview you both. And I really hope I can get out there very soon, because that cow cuddling looks absolutely amazing to me. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all of our listeners, and we will see you next time. Take care.
With hope as a guardian.